Hello again. Couldn't take a nap, so I'll read a little bit of Green Princess Saves the Day for y'all. Okay, read chapters 1 and 2, and then I'll continue. I'll send another clip of the other chapters. Okay, so Green Princess Saves the Day. Chapter 1. Princess of the Park. "Come here, little bird," Holly Greenwood said in a singing voice. "I won't hurt you, I promise." Holly was sitting quietly in her favorite spot in Peterson Park, underneath the weeping willow tree. It was cold and shady, and there was a little patch of bright yellow buttercups nearby. There were other flowers too, tall orange ones, but Holly didn't know what they were called. Doesn't have any pictures on this page. Peterson Park was Holly's favorite place in the whole world. Sometimes she went there to play with her friends, but she loved to spend time alone too. If she sat quietly under the willow tree, the animals that lived in the park would sometimes come close. For a long time, the chipmunks were Holly's favorite. She liked their fuzzy tails and the black and white stripes on their golden fur. And when they stuffed their cheeks with nuts, it always made Holly laugh. But a week ago, Holly had noticed a new animal in the park. She spotted the little bird perched on a branch of a raspberry bush. It had bright blue feathers on its head and wings, and its belly and neck were a pretty reddish brown color. It was the most beautiful bird Holly had ever seen. Today, the bird was sitting on the raspberry bush again. "Tweet, tweet, 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 tweet," he sang. "Chirp, chirp, chirp." Holly pushed her lips together and tried to whistle like her mom had showed her, but the sound came out all messy. Holly sighed. The princesses in her favorite stories made it look so easy. They sang a pretty song and all the cute forest creatures came running. Little birds even landed on their fingertips. Holly wished that would happen to her. Being friends with the park animals was the best part of being a princess. Better than living in a castle or marrying a handsome prince. "Please, little bird," Holly asked, but the bird flapped its wings and flew away. "Someday it will happen," Holly said out loud. "Someday I will be just like a real princess." "Holly, where are you?" Holly jumped up and brushed the dirt off of her skirt. Her big sister Jessica always walked to the park with her when their mom was at work, but Jessica never wanted to stay for very long. "Coming," Holly called out. She raced to the big white gazebo, where Jessica sat with her friends. Holly's brown braids bounced on her shoulders as she ran. "Do we have to go already?" Holly asked her sister. She wanted to try one more time to get the bird to land on her finger. Jessica rolled her eyes. "We've been here like all day," she said. "I don't know why you think this park is so great." It's not really a picture book. Jessica was 16, and Holly knew she'd never understand, but that didn't stop Holly from trying to explain. "It's the best park in the world," she said, stretching her arms out to the sides. "It's got swings and swirly slide and lots of trees and flowers and—" "Okay, I didn't really want an answer," Jessica said, smiling a little. "And we can't stay anyway. I have a science project to do." Jessica waved goodbye to her friends, took Holly's hand, and headed down the path. Holly smiled as an orange butterfly flew past them and landed on a daisy. When they got to the end of the path, Holly stopped. A big sign was sticking out of the grass. It said, "For sale." "For sale?" Holly asked. "What's for sale?" Jessica walked up to the sign, and there was a lot of smaller writing on it. She read it for a minute. "Wow," she said finally. "It looks like the park is for sale." Holly wasn't sure she heard right. "The whole park?" Jessica nodded. The town is trying to sell it. They want to turn it into a shopping center. They can't, Holly cried. She couldn't believe it. Who would want to get rid of the most beautiful park in the world? Chapter 2. Princess Power. Mom, you have to talk to Mayor Morgan about this, Holly said later that night. She can't sell the park. She just can't. Holly, Jessica, and their mom sat around the kitchen table. They were eating Holly's favorite dinner, spaghetti and salad. But Holly wasn't enjoying it very much. She was too worried about the park. I can talk to her, but I don't think she'll change her mind, Miss Greenwood said. Holly frowned. Can't you order her not to sell the park? Her mom smiled. Holly, I just work in the town clerk's office. I can't tell the mayor what to do. I wish you could, Holly said, sighing. The mayor is making a big mistake. Jessica shrugged. I don't see what the big deal is, she said. Maybe they'll put a pizza town in the shopping center. That would be cool. That would not be cool, Holly yelled. What will happen to all the animals that live in the park? They can't live in Pizza Town. Miss Greenwood put a hand on Holly's shoulder. Please don't yell, Holly, she said. We can't order the mayor to keep the park, but there are other ways to change her mind. Like what? Holly asked, lowering her voice and twirling some spaghetti around her fork. You could write a letter, her mom suggested, and we can spread the word about what's happening to the park. If a lot of people speak up, the mayor might listen. Holly was quiet for a minute. Tons of ideas were jumping around in her head. She ate her last bite of spaghetti and stood up. I've got to get to work, she said. Dishes in the sink first, please, said Miss Greenwood. Holly put her dishes away and ran to her bedroom. It was very small, but Holly didn't mind. She thought it was the best bedroom in the world. Last year when she turned 6, her aunt, Amy, had painted all the walls for her. Everywhere Holly looked, she saw trees and flowers. The ceiling was blue, just like the sky, and Amy had painted birds in the trees, butterflies on the flowers, and squirrels and chipmunks peeking out of the grass. Holly's mom had even gotten her a green rug, so the floor looked like a grassy field. Her room reminded Holly of being in Peterson Park. Holly went to her dresser and picked up her favorite headband. It had tiny white flowers and little green leaves on it. She put it in her hair like a crown and sat down on her rug. Her crown always helped her think better. Holly closed her eyes and imagined that she was Princess of Maple Grove and that she lived in a green castle with lots of trees around it. Instead of tearing down the park, she would build more and more parks in Maple Grove. All of her subjects would be happy. Holly opened her eyes. She knew just what to do. Princess Power will save the park, she cheered. All right, that's the end of chapters 1 and 2. I love you girls. I love you, Mom. I hope you'll have a good day or night whenever you're listening to this. And I love y'all. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.